Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Let me just check my settings, make sure that I've got my correct microphone on. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So welcome to another episode of Tarot by Hilary Live. I am your hostess with the mostest, Hilary of tarotbyhilary.com, professional tarot reader and EFT practitioner. That is tapping if you're not sure what EFT is. Demystifying the mystical and putting you in touch with the most beautiful gifts, your own intuition. Because yes, my friends, do not argue with me. You have intuition. So we already have some comments coming in, greetings and salutations coming in. So let me go ahead and shout that out. Hello to Cindy. Welcome to the broadcast. Thank you for tuning in tonight. And we also have Sophia saying hello. Hello, Sophia. Long time no see. And I'm saying that very tongue-in-cheek because I was just on a Zoom with her, like maybe 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes before starting this episode. So we are going to see Sophia in a little while because I voluntold her that this episode is her fault. And so she is being duly punished for it being her fault. Gun LOL there, because the whole reason for this episode, or the main topic of tonight's episode, is unboxing the Sorcery Underground fortune-telling deck, because Sophia told me about this deck and, you know, hyped it up and said it's a tarot deck, but it's a Lenormand deck, but it's a playing card deck. So it is definitely a fortune-telling deck. So it's not a tarot deck, technically speaking, but it does have tarot elements in it and Lenormand elements in it and playing cards in it. So it is, I believe it's 80 cards in total, but we will, this is the pamphlet, the little white book that goes along with it. And I promise you, like, I have been sitting on my hands, trying not to bite my fingernails because I'm like literally trying to grow my fingernails back after doing press on nails that didn't go very well. I've nearly destroyed my nails at this point. I want to open this very badly, but this is the I promise this is a true unboxing here, because it is so nicely sent to me through Etsy by Brian David MacDonald. Limited quantities are available. I'm not sure if it's entirely sold out. I did send the link in my newsletter. And at the time that I wrote that newsletter, there were 9 copies left in stock and with 20 people having it in their cart. So if you go to the link, when I mention the link, or if you tried to go to the link, if you're a newsletter subscriber and you have not seen it, and it's like says out of stock, then I'm sorry. So he does do limited print runs, so I'm sure you'll be able to get it again. Or this might encourage him to do larger print runs. Who knows? We'll see. But anyway, my hot little hands have not unwrapped this. That's my point. This is a true unboxing and first impressions episode. Now, the reason why I'm making Sophia come on the episode a little bit later after we do our Astro Biz Digest or astro-weather at the top of the episode is because she has worked with this deck before. So I want to be able to experience it for myself, but also bring someone in that has worked with this deck with clients. Okay. So I hope that is intriguing to you guys. And also you'll have to help me choose which tarot bag to use once I have unboxed the Sorcery Underground Fortune Telling Kit. This one from Ipsy, which has Your Magic on one side and this on the other side, or my tarot bag that Jamers got me from Moonlit Fae, which is my Aries tarot bag. Those were the two that I could make do with or part from, because I've already previously bagged other tarot decks. So back to introductions. Katie said hello before. Hello, Katie. Welcome to the broadcast. Sophia says it's not hazing if it's fun. Fair enough. Dylan Dilly is here, who is my bestie, if you're not familiar. She says hi. And of course, I can only watch live for a few moments. That's fine. Oh, good. Dylan also has just bought this deck, the Sorcery Underground Fortune Telling deck. Perfect. So we have a few decks and charm casting kits in common at this point. I can think of like one shining example, which is the Tessera Oracle, where when I would get a new charm, I would just automatically get a second charm and give it to her. So we have a couple of decks in common. I'm glad that you picked up a copy of this, Dylan, so we can talk about it. Sophia says hi to Katie. Katie says hi to Sophia. And Dylan says, LOL, I want all the decks. Well, you and me both, kid, and Sophia too. For those of you who are tuning in for the first time, we structure the live streams, the Friday night live streams, in the following ways. So first, I do the introductions, which we've already done, and say hi to everyone. Everyone says hi to everyone else. We have a little bit of a following and a little bit of community going on with these live streams at this point, which is really awesome because I have been doing these for 3 years. If you want to know some of my favorite episodes, last week we just did the 3rd anniversary episode in which we talked about some of our favorite episodes, and I gave you some behind the scenes on certain episodes and what I've learned from live streaming for 3 years. So these episodes start with the Astro Weather from Teresa Reeves, aka the Tarot Lady's wonderful Astro Biz Digest, which is available for $99, year-long subscription. You get astrology in layman's terms in your inbox. It is geared towards entrepreneurs, but I do find it very helpful in my own personal life. So I think anyone, whether or not you're an entrepreneur or a business owner, can benefit from the Astro Biz Digest. So we do that for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night so that you can be prepared, not scared, into your weekend. Unfortunately, I don't think I have the astrology for Monday, Labor Day, here in the United States, but I will look to the monthly summary from the Astro Biz Digest to see if I can give you a little bit more information for Monday, considering some of you may have a 3-day weekend. Let's see, what else? Then we get into the meat of the episode where we're teaching the particular topic at hand. So tonight's episode is unboxing the Sorcery Underground Fortune Telling deck. Then at the end of the episode, oh wait, no, there's a new feature. Then we have mid-topic, a live reading. So for those of you who have been wondering, like, how can I get a reading with Hilary for free? Normally don't do it, but in order to increase live viewership here on these live streams, we're doing a mid-episode reading where I'll put out a keyword, you put the keyword into the chat, and it puts you into the running for a free reading that I will give to you right now within this episode. So that happens toward the middle of the episode. So if you guys are coming on here and it's your first time here and you want a reading, like, yes, this is slightly the space for it. You have to wait until the middle of the episode for your chance. So remember that. And for those of you who are regular viewers and you happen to see someone asking in the chat, like, hey, can I get a reading? Hey, can I get a reading? Feel free to just address that person and say, wait until the middle of the episode. You'll be entered into a chance to win a free reading right freaking now. That would be very helpful for me. I am not above using some of the regular viewers as moderators to the chat. It's very helpful to me so that I can do everything that I need to do on these episodes. And then continuing the episode, we'll finish off the episode. And then at the end of the episode, we will do the weekend forecast, which is either a 1-card oracle deck, 1-card pull from an oracle deck or a tarot deck, whichever I'm feeling. So at least 2 opportunities to get a reading, right? And a guaranteed opportunity for astrology at the top of the episode. So it's just like we'll read you every which way. But if that's not enough for you, you can always book a reading with me at tarotbyhilary.com. In fact, I would encourage you to get a reading with me one-on-one, half-hour session, hour-long session, phone, Skype, Zoom, email, in person if you happen to be in the Westchester County area in the United States. But I can read for you just as well over Zoom too. Contrary to popular belief, an in-person reading is no better nor worse than a virtual reading. So in my opinion, like, I'm still reading the cards. I'm not reading your body language. I'm not doing any of that shit. No, I'm reading your cards. Okay. Anyway, so that's how these episodes run. Please stay tuned for your opportunity for the mid-episode reading, if you're so inclined. And also, let's unbox the Sorcery Underground fortune-telling kit together. Katie says, we need a personal library / room for our tarot decks and books, considering the amount of them we have and or want. Yes, this is very true. I have like a little storage place underneath my altar for the decks, but also it's almost like a virtual, like we need like a virtual astral lodge room, or maybe I have to make a room in my astral lodge for the Tarot by Hilary live stream books and decks in the ether. Dylan says, I can't speak well enough for Teresa's AstroBiz Digest. I use it every week. Yeah, every day of every week, right? Sophia says, there's layers. LOL. I don't know if that's referential to the episode, the live stream, or the Sorcery Underground Tarot deck. Probably a little bit of both. All right, so are we ready for the AstroBiz Digest, the Astro Weather from Teresa Reed? Please say hell yeah in the chat, and I'm going to grab my water. It is warm in here, but I'm sitting right next to the air conditioner, so you would not be able to hear me over the air conditioner. So small sacrifices need to be made for this live stream. So Sophia is saying woo, which I will take to mean yes, we are ready for the Astro Biz Digest. Let me find my referrals and pop that into my staging so that I can display it on screen. Oh, come now. This is not being very helpful right now. All right, let me just remove that so I can show this. Yay. Okay, so a link will pop up into the chat if you are interested in purchasing your own copy of the AstroBiz Digest. Now, what I do in these episodes is I let you know what's going on for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I don't want to give away the farm because Teresa works very hard. And if you're interested in Monday through Thursday, you'll just have to purchase your own copy of the AstroBiz Digest. But honestly, $99 for a year subscription of astrology right to your inbox can't be beat. Like it's like Crazy Eddie. Like these deals that she's given away with the AstroBiz Digest being $99 for a year subscription is fantastic. So you can go to that link when you're ready to purchase, but I would strongly recommend you just pick up yourself a copy of the AstroBiz Digest. All right, let me see here. All right, I've got the monthly summary for September, but what is the week? Where is the week? Weekly forecast for August 29th through September 4th of 2022. So again, we are focusing mostly on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday here in the broadcast, but there is a, an overall summary for the week. which is there's nothing major happening. However, we are entering the shadow period of Mercury retrograde. And actually, I was just talking with Sophia about this, that sometimes I feel like the shadow periods of Mercury retrograde are even worse than the Mercury retrograde itself. That's just my personal opinion. So like really start to slow down, back up your tech gear, take care of your travel plans, make significant purchases this week, especially tech purchases. Okay. If you need to sign contracts, get that done too, because once Mercury stations retrograde on the 9th of September, you'll kick back like a chill pro while everybody else has to scramble. I also let Mr. Tarot by Hilary know about that we are starting to get into the stuff of Mercury retrograde and the shadow period. I mean, like, I just had some craziness with neighbors today, which I'm not going to get into because I am a consummate professional. But like, yeah, that was the first thing out of his mouth. Is just like, is it a full moon? And I'm just like, I don't think so. But Mercury is in the shadow period of its retrograde, and it goes retrograde on the 9th. So it could be that, because we don't want to blame astrology or make excuses with astrology, but sometimes, shit happens. Sometimes there is some negativity that happens with astrology. But there's the same thing can be said for tarot as well. But not every tarot card is solely negative or positive. Sometimes it is what it is, and it is the context. So anyway, learning how to work with those energies, right? So for Friday begins on a dreamy note when the moon trines Neptune at 8:52 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we are talking about today, that's already happened, which is ideal for creative or intuitive work. Let your imagination run wild and trust your gut as you scheme up new ideas. This vibe keeps going all morning long, but once the moon stations void at 1:22 p.m., it's time to finish what you've started. At 6:39 p.m., La Luna will be in fiery Sagittarius, the best transit for business travel, publishing, and global affairs. So we're within that right now as we are recording live. Broaden your biz horizons by seeing the world or reaching out with a smart PR campaign this weekend. However, do not promise more than you can deliver when Mercury opposes Jupiter at 9:49 p.m. Hopefully, we will not be still broadcasting then. You'll end up eating those words. Also, if you are traveling at that time, be patient. An unexpected snafu may slow your roll. Today, Friday, September 2nd, is a power day for Scorpio and a weak day for Taurus. Now, remember, power days are the best days of the month. On these days, the universe is on your side, which makes them ideal for important meetings, launches, signing contracts, deal making, networking, selling, travel, anything you want to turn the tables to your advantage. Weekdays, as in WEAK days, are when the universe isn't your BFF. On those days, you are at a disadvantage. Avoid scheduling important meetings, launches, deal making, or signing contracts during these days. So if you happen to be a Scorpio, today is a power day for you. Scorpio sun sign or Scorpio rising. And Friday today is a weekday for Taurus. So sun sign Taurus or Taurus rising. I never like to say just the sun sign. Okay. Any questions so far? I do see Katie in the chat here. Darn it, I have paperwork to get done. Better get it done this weekend before the shadow gets true strong. I would agree with that. I would definitely agree with that. I also just spit a little bit on my computer. Gross. All right. Are we ready for the rest of the weekend? And I'm going to put this down. Oh, I also wanted to do some kind of widget to let people know to stick around for the middle of the episode. Follow us. I mean, that's cute. Just to let people know. You know, because otherwise when I'm blah, 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 people won't know that there's a possibility for a free reading. So let me see if I can do, oh, here, I can make a copy of this, can't I? Hold on a second. I have to also change the crawler for this episode because we're going to do a new word. Okay, add item, crawler, to be considered, oh, stay tuned to be considered for a live reading. Yeah, that'll work. How's that look? Before we continue. That's a lot of lower third shit happening right now. Okay. So Katie says go for it about the crawler. I hope this pleases and sparkles. Sophia is saying woo. I think we should continue with the astrology for Saturday and Sunday. I did read this. Oh, by the way, I did read this over like as soon as shit hit the fan with our neighbors. I was just like, is it a full moon? Like, is it just the Mercury retrograde? It was, I think it was the void moon that contributed to all of the stuff, which I'm not going to talk about. So I went and I read over the astrology for this weekend already, so I'm not stumbling over my words as much. It's not new to me, to what I'm saying, which is nice. So I already know that Saturday, September 3rd, is not great for the astrology. But for details, let us continue. So in Teresa's words, Saturday is funky. A Moon-Mars opposition at 8:23 a.m. puts an aggressive stank into the morning. Egos flare and big mouths run rampant when the moon squares the sun at 2:08 p.m. Erg. A few hours later, the energy clears, making Saturday evening divine for travel, PR, or celebrations. Sunday morning is easygoing, ideal for a business brunch with your team, but host it early because the moon will square Neptune at 12:32 p.m., an aspect that spells trouble. Deception is possible, or one too many Bloody Marys might create confusion. At 10:03 p.m., the moon will be in Capricorn, the best lunation for CEO level stuff. That can wait until Monday. For now, rest up so you'll be ready to slay your day tomorrow. Both days are power days for Sagittarius, sun sign Sagittarius or rising sign Sagittarius, and weekdays for Gemini. So that's sun sign Gemini or Gemini rising, Gemini ascendant. Okay, so I did want to give the quick stuff for Monday, if I can help it, or if I'm able to see it in the monthly summary. So what is Monday? So tomorrow's the 3rd, Sunday is the 4th, Monday is the 5th. So Monday is a power day for Capricorn, and Venus enters Virgo. Details matter to clients now. So that's Labor Day Monday for those of you in the States. Let me see if there's any more information about that. Yes, there is. September's a wild cosmic ride. It all begins when Venus enters Virgo on the 5th. So this is Monday, Labor Day Monday, the 5th. Clients want all the details, meaning you need to spill the beans on all of your sales pages. See, I told you this is geared toward business owners and entrepreneurs, but it doesn't have to necessarily be all about business. You can translate this pretty well into your personal life too. So this is not the time to hide prices or goodies. Instead, you want to be as transparent as possible. It's also possible you might find folks are more nitpicky than usual. Requests for exceptions could be on the rise. You'll need to assert boundaries repeatedly. I'll say that again. You'll need to assert boundaries repeatedly. If you're wondering how to do that, or if you need any help with boundaries, I think we have at least 3 episodes in these live streams. Replays are available on boundaries. So sometimes we have boundary issues here. And we just need to be reminded that it is nice and natural and healthy to have boundaries with people. Finally, this is a frugal transit for the goddess of love, which means you'll want to stick to your business budget as closely as possible. Once Venus heads into Libra on the 29th, people behave better and you can indulge in some treats. So tighten your wallet on Labor Day Monday. Be frugal. Be transparent as possible, but also keep your boundaries tight as your wallet should be for Venus and Virgo. That's a lot. Whew, that is a lot. So I see a yes. I see, thankfully, I'm a Sag rising, grabbing those power days. Take them. Take those power days, Katie. Okay, so any questions about the past week? Because I do like to open up the AstroBiz Digest or the Astro Weather to more than just the weekend on like a limited basis. Because again, we don't want to take everything away from the AstroBiz Digest or purchasing the AstroBiz Digest, which is Teresa Reed's work. Again, please go to the link that's in the chats. It's just thetarotlady.com/AstroBiz Digest with hyphens separating each of those, or you can probably just go to her top navigation. You'll be able to find it. But okay, cool. So Sophia is saying Tuesday was whack. I know the reasons why. We don't have to go into it, but yes, I agree. Tuesday was whack for you. So let us take a look on what was happening for Tuesday for Sophia. Let's see, Tuesday. Yeah, Moon Chiron opposition. Okay. Watch out for the Moon Chiron opposition at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's too easy for misunderstandings to happen at that time. A few hours later, the energy lifts, leaving the whole afternoon and evening open for networking and meetings. The sweetest spot occurs at 8:13 p.m. when the moon trines Saturn. You can negotiate all the wins at that time. And if you're hosting any sort of meeting or signing a contract, the stars are aligned in your favor. So Tuesday was technically a power day for Libra and a weak day for Aries. So it wasn't a great day for me being an Aries sun. So I guess it was good for the Libras out there. But it could have been the Moon Chiron opposition at 11 a.m., which, eventually lifted a few hours later. But sometimes things happen like right on the times that we're talking about. And sometimes that energy lingers throughout the day. Or you could, depending on what your moon placements are, you might have felt it a little bit more keenly. Does that help a little bit, Sophia? Yeah. Yup. Anybody else? I'll give it a second. And I will remove the follow us, but that should be a given at this point. So we're going to start to move into the unboxing. And if I was a smart woman, I would have brought my embroidery scissors to be able to open this deck. All right, speak now or forever hold your astrological peace, as it were, because we're going to move into the main topic of tonight's episode at exactly 30 minutes into the episode, which I think we're doing pretty well on time tonight, because I am trying to keep it tighter and tighter, because some people can't do these marathon live streams. I mean, I can do it because I'm having fun, but I don't know. The longer a live stream goes, the more opportunities for spammers and scammers and like ridiculousness in the chat. And I'm just like, gross. I don't need that. Neither do you. Sophia says, that's good for us. I'm impressed. I know. I can't believe it either. And I started relatively on time too. Unfortunately, like I had to mess with the intro video though, because for some reason it wasn't downloading from Canva, and I had to like quit out of the tab, log back into the tab, make sure that my changes saved, and then download it again, and it finally downloaded. But like sometimes it likes to be difficult, and I don't know why. I just don't know why. Okay, so I am gonna go grab my scissors so that I can dig into this deck. And Sophia is going to use the guest link that I've sent to her so she can hop on here while she's also shaking her fist at Mercury, as are we all. I'm gonna continue to have this crawler running underneath, just to remind people that are newer to the broadcast that there is that opportunity for the mid-episode reading. Air horn noise. I really should get like a soundboard. They used to have soundboards when I was in college, and this is probably dating myself a lot, that they would come out with these soundboards and you would just press on them. Like they had like a Simpsons soundboard, a South Park soundboard where you would press certain things. You know, like Stewie saying, I think it's time for a sexy party. Let me see if I can find one of those. And hopefully we're not being subjugated to the Mercury's shadow period with the guest link. Hold on. I'm gonna go grab a scissor and find a soundboard. Free. Let's see. Free soundboard for live streaming. See what I can come up with. Best free soundboard for streaming. Change your voice in real time. I don't need to change my reasonable price. I don't want to have to pay for it. No, I just want sound effects, man. Let's see. Weird. For next time, maybe. I'm always interested in how to make these things better. All right, let me grab my scissors so that we can open up the Sorcery Underground fortune telling deck. Sophia, use the link so that I can get you into the staging portion and then push it live to video. I love that my embroidery scissors were right here. I'm ready. And who knows, who might do the reading. We might do the mid-episode reading using this. All right. I hear audio, which is good. Yes, I can hear you. All right. Let me show in stream in 3, 2, 1. Here comes Sophia. Welcome to the broadcast, Sophia.
Hello.
In case you don't know it, Sophia is also a tarot reader, and her website is Benevolent Corvus. So you can actually drop that into the chat, or I can drop it in for you because I don't know what you can or cannot see on your side.
Let's see.
The last time I had on a guest, it was Meg Percy, to discuss our human design in our human design episode. And she could not see the chat. So I kind of had to moderate the chat for questions that were being directed at her. So I'm pretty sure that's probably the same thing that you're going to be experiencing here. So let me display. Woohoo, Sophia. Okay, I'm going to have to take off this crawler. While it's very sexy, it's also completely blocking out your face, which is not great. Let's not do that. But yes, I will continue to say to people, mid-episode reading coming up soon for a chance to win a free reading. So I will put in your website.
Yeah, it seems I can see the chat, but I can't interact with it.
Okay, well, that's fine. I will moderate. Let's see. Okay, so dropping that into the chat. Yeah, I wish we had there's got to be some kind of way. It's probably available on a different third-party app streaming where it's just like, here's this person's name, here's this person's name, but it's just like it's not happening right now. Actually, I can probably make an overlay that would accommodate that, but I don't want to do that right now.
Yeah.
Not mid-episode. That probably would not be great. I have experimented before, though. Let's see. Do I have any overlays that would work? Probably not right now. Okay. Anyway. So Sophia's information is here, benevolentcorvus.com, if you would like a reading with her or want to interact with her. But right now, we are talking about the Sorcery Underground fortune-telling deck, and I voluntold Sophia about 15 minutes before the episode, where it's just like, hey, by the way, since you're already a regular live viewer here and my mentee, and you told me about this deck, you're coming on the episode and explaining why you're so interested in it, why your clients may be interested in it. So just tell the viewers a little bit about basically what you told me, that I was just like, stop, I'm sold, be quiet, I'm putting in my, take my money, Brian David MacDonald.
So welcome to Tarot QVC. So the cool thing about this deck, I found out about this deck from, and one of my Tarot Coven friends is in here too. So
is that Anya?
Yes, that's Anya. So
all right,
she bought the deck. She bought the deck at the same time I did, and our other Tarot Coven sister Danielle, who we constantly say Danielle made me do it about any and all things, and so she had brought up this deck months ago, and it's a combination of a Tarot Major Arcana with some Lenormand and some Cartomancy, and then just some woo in here, and so it's all of the fun things in one small playing card size package. So
I have small hands, so this is not an accurate representation. Yeah, there you go. So there's Sophia's hand, this is my hand. So
it's a tiny little guy. It's like a standard playing card size deck if it were chunky. So it's really cool. It's a lot of it looks like a combination of a more traditional Lenormand mixed with some really interesting found art kind of, not to spoil it, but some found art kind of images in the majors. And so if you read Lenormand a little bit, and you read playing cards a little bit, and you read tarot a lot of it, then you'll enjoy the kind of coming together of all these things. It also, I know for me, I tend to read tarot a little bit like a professor, and that's my style. So I like this because it gives me an outlet to read a little bit more intuitively and push myself to flex my muscles a little bit. Like, not everything can be some Golden Dawn tinfoil hat experience. So I like it for that reason. It's really snappy. Whenever I've read for people with this deck, it's really to the point. It just goes straight for the jugular. And that's really necessary in so many cases. So that's my sales pitch for the deck. It's a wacky, cool deck.
Speak more about your clients, because the way you explained it to me, you were just like, because I asked, because typically what I do when I work with a new to me deck, I will use it for a month and I will actually show people that I'm using it in my card of the day draws and basically say, like, I'm not comfortable doing a paid reading for a client until I have done at least a month's due diligence in getting to know this deck. So you've already done this due diligence and you've worked with clients using this deck. What do you have a question that you ask them, and then they usually answer emphatically. So what's the question and what did they answer?
In terms of the client or the card?
In terms of the deck. So like, do you want the blank deck?
Oh, okay. So Hilary has mentioned before that she calls Lenormand, her clients call the Lenormand the little cards.
Because I use a petite deck. Mm-hmm.
And yes. So this is the wacky deck. So these are the wacky cards. So, or sometimes it's just affectionately called that one.
That one, or the weird. You said the wacky, the weird
deck, yeah.
And then they're just like, yeah,
they're
give
like,
me
yeah,
the wacky,
the strange one. So I'll pull it because it just gets to the point. Because I feel like tarot can be a little bit like kind of like nebulous in some ways, and it's tarot can give you a direct answer, but I find that when a client goes, yes, I know I need to do this, yes, I know, but like, what's the answer? And that's what this is for, because I like Lenormand, but I'm not as confident with Lenormand as I am with tarot. So this gives me that little extra dimension of it's so to the point. Where with Lenormand, I kind of go, yes, fox, boat, ship, great. What next? Is kind of how I get with Lenormand sometimes, where I feel like this has just enough depth, it gives you a little bit more to go on, because you have the playing cards correspondence. You can read it like a tarot minor arcana. And so there's a bunch of different layers. Like, say, for example, we have the Three of Hearts, which is the wine, which is the Three of Cups. So like, yes. You could treat it more like you could it's a Three of Hearts. So this is like Three of Cups. We have friendship, all of those things. You could instantly see like drinking with friends, celebration. So there's a bunch of different colors you can instantly put on it just from the one card. Where I feel like Lenormand, I'm like, what next, magic deck? And so I like it for that. And I feel like where Lenormand, for a client perspective, because the majority of my clients don't read tarot. I have one or two that are like, I understand your funky words, Magic Man, but that is not the general consensus. So a card like
new deck smell.
Oh, I know.
A moment for the inhale. Yes.
So a card.
And I do like the feel. I do like the feel of them.
It's like a linen.
It's very nice.
It's like a standard poker deck. Like, see, this card, I feel like gives you a little bit more to go off of from a non-reader perspective in terms of like what's going on here. It's eight of swords. You're trapped. There's a bird cage. There's clearly a cage depicted on this card. Even if you don't read tarot, if you see this in a spread, you can go, that's probably a thing I should be thinking about. Or
yeah, it's like one of those, it's like when you're dealing with a client and they have no knowledge of the tarot, but like they get the devil card or they get the tower card and they're just like, ooh, that looks bad. You know, like there's an immediate response to the imagery, right?
Yeah. Like, this is the Hanged Man in this deck. The majors are a little interesting because they're definitely like a found image kind of thing. Oh, the 74 in the corner. So there's 80 cards in the deck. So in the guidebook, they're all labeled. This is completely backwards, but so the entries are labeled with each card. So it's just for you to understand where it is in the guidebook. In terms of like divinatory meanings, it's kind of just there.
Yeah, and it's not backwards, actually. I don't think I have the mirror view on. No. So that's the whole joy of, like, you can see that. Yeah, you can read Sorcery Underground. Yeah, like yours is also coming out readable too. Yeah. But yeah, it is 80. There are 80 cards in this deck. So that's what the number in the corner means. But yes, thank you for answering. Because I was about to ask that because I don't know what you can or cannot see. So, or if you're like dual screening right now. So tell the group, share it with the group, some of your favorite parts about this, because it has that like edge of practicality too. So it's just like going back to, like, for this deck, you probably are going to need to refer to this, but you can still read intuitively. If you already have that base knowledge, you can read it intuitively and you don't necessarily need this, but tell me why you may want to refer to it.
Oh, the guidebook's fabulous. So how it works for each entry on here is, so you'll have your card, you have your majors up front, of course, and then there's an upright, a reversed meaning, and then some advice. I will say right off the bat, you will want to read this deck with reversals. I don't read any other deck with reversals, but you really miss out if you don't have the reversals mixed into the deck with this one. Like, for example, like entry number 25 is the Ace of Hearts, Ace of Cups. So upright, we have a home, fulfillment, love, joy, a banquet, spring, water. Reversed is home trouble, home change, let down, a new problem, a leak in the basement. So it changes the dimension a lot. And then the advice for that is leave a glass of water out for the spirits. And so, ooh, fancy. So
yes. I was just like, wait a minute, I did this for Meg, so I should do this for you too. Anyway, so yeah, like I like that, like, or the changing in the, put your car in for service, or leave a glass out for, so it has that nice mix of the mystical and the mundane and the practical. So, and like, have you found, like, I have to ask because I'm always about like the experiential with clients and like why they keep on coming back to it or what they may say. So like give an example. I mean, obviously you don't have to name names because that would be very bad. And, we are like vaults, but like you can always give an example of like, oh, well, this client had this question and like this deck like read them to filth and here's the reason why. I had done a reading for a friend and they had been asked, they had this messy sort of not a partner but kind of a partner situationship going on. And so I like that it's like not relationship, situationship. But go on.
And so what had happened there is my friend had been talking to this person on and off for a hot sec, and they were like, is anything ever going to come out of this? And aside from well, girl, I can tell you off the bat, it's been 6 months, so use your brain. But aside from that,
like,
it was
like not, I am sensing, not through the cards and not through my psychicism, just common sense. Like, no, it's not going to happen. If it hasn't happened already, it's probably not going to happen now. Yeah. But go on.
So what happened is, what did the cards give me? It was like it was like the 8 of Swords. It was the King of Swords reversed. It was just like all the nasty. And so where with like, I feel like with tarot, like it would sometimes give you like something more nebulous than that. Like, oh, like, is this person fulfilling your needs? Like, I feel like my readings with tarot come across a little bit more like therapy sort of psychobabble, where with this, it's just, this dude is not fun. Don't do it. And then the advice was like, then I can't remember which card it is. I think it's number 25, which is it was the same Ace of Cups, which no, it wasn't. It was where is that one? There's one card that has the advice is to put rose petals in your shoe on a first. Yeah, it's 36. It's the Knight of Cups. So put rose petals in your shoe when going on a first date, which just really nail in the coffin on that one. It's like, yeah, you're gonna meet someone else. Like, just
and allow it to happen. Like, instead of being hung up on this situation, you might not be allowing the new to happen, right?
Yeah, I just find it so sassy because Tara will advise you, but I feel like this was just like, yeah, so for your next first date.
Yeah. It's just like tongue in cheek. So Zuri is also here. So hello to Zuri. So good to see you. And Anya says, good to know. Like it won't it won't mess around. It will be great. Very clear. Okay, so knowing that, and so I've been sitting here shuffling this and also taking to heart what you were saying. It's just like, you want to read this deck with reversals, because I'm kind of nice about it, where it's just like, hey, if you don't want to read with reversals, you don't have to read with reversals. However, you do have this that kind of lends itself to reading with reversals. So I'm going to go with that and use my reversal shuffling in method, which is the following. I shuffle overhands. So if you shuffle overhand like I do, I'm sure like when clients are working with me, I'll let them do whatever to my cards. It's just like, you're not going to hurt them. You can bridge the deck if you want to. If your hands allow it, fine. But when I'm shuffling, I have small hands and I just shuffle overhand. That's just what I do. However, you're not going to get reversals this way. So what I do, or what I recommend to people, if they want to integrate reversals in and they do shuffle overhand, is I just shuffle and then I split the deck and then I turn it. And then I put it back in and then I shuffle again. I'll do that as many times as I feel it integrates reversals in. And also you can do the messy pile shuffle too. I can't remember what somebody else, like I read for someone and they were just like, I can do like, and they called it something else. And I'm just like, oh, I just call it a messy pile because it's a messy pile.
78 pickup.
78 card pickup, but with respect. Yes. So now that I've shuffled these in and shuffled in reversals, and I think I shuffled pretty well. I mean, who knows? Looking a little white on one end here. So that looks a little bit more playing card-ish. So let me shuffle a little bit more. I think now's the time for the mid-episode reading opportunities. So if people are wanting to get a reading from me or from Sophia or both, actually we might need to do it both. And I think we're going to use this. So like, fair warning, I have never used this deck before, so I am going to go to this. But Sophia might have more information for you since she is used to working with the Sorcery Underground fortune telling kit. And I think it's probably a good idea to just work with the deck that we're unboxing here and talking about here for the mid-episode reading. So let me consider what the keyword is going to be. Unfortunately, this takes you out of the running, Sophia, for a reading because you're going to be giving the reading. Apologies. I think I might have lost you, though. Oh, no. I'm going to go ahead and hide Sophia and see if it alleviates. And if it doesn't, hopefully Sophia will come back in and let me know audioly or via message. Unless she just bounced in order to be a part of the reading. But I think I hear her again. Are we back? Well, let me see. Here we go. All right. Are we back? Are you okay? No? Yes? Oh, okay.
Am I back?
There you are. Yeah, I think so. I took you off of the stream for a second just to see if it rectified. Yeah, but you're a little bit blurry right now. But yes, yes, exactly. Zuri's just like, gotta love the shadow of Mercury retrograde. Yep, exactly. Sometimes this live streaming is a dangerous proposition when we have Mercury retrograde happening. Okay, so
I think I'm back.
Yeah, I can see you. You're just a little bit blurry.
Okay, there we go.
I think that's okay. Can people write in the chat if you can see Sophia clearly? If not, we might have to use the guest link again. Oh, she's gone again. All right. I am going to hide Sophia and she'll come back in. Hold on. Let me remove the source. Okay. Removed you. Try coming back in one more time. One more time. Fun with technology. Okay. Yes. So Katie is saying Sophia is blurred. Yep, I saw that too. And Zuria said she's a little blurry still. Yeah, we're going to, yep. She's ready to join the broadcast. I just got the message here. Let's see. Let me, but I can't see her. Can't see you though. That's the problem. Can't see you, can't hear the audio. Oh, there we go. Yay. All right, here she comes. Coming back.
I'm like crossing my fingers.
Yes, you're back. You're back and you're clear. Okay, cool. And Anya's giving you a little bit of shit too. I'd love to get a reading from Sophia, please. That's what we do. That's what we do here. So that's happening. Yeah. So let us to be considered for a live reading, drop the word sorcery into the chat. How about that? So here we go. It is time. And I'm going to hide this. So if you would like to be considered for a reading right freaking now from both myself and Sophia, celebrating the Sorcery Underground fortune-telling deck. No, it's not a dick, it's a deck. Unboxing. Please put the word sorcery into the chat right now. And I think we've lost Sophia again, which I don't know. Irony. As soon as we're ready for the interactive portion of the episode, Sophia's Wi-Fi seems to be cutting in and out. So I'm going to go ahead and hide Sophia again. I haven't cut her off from the stream entirely yet. Let me find my picker wheel. And you've migrated. Okay. So Sophia's going to find a better place to sit. And hopefully I'm still with you here. Yeah, very blurry. Yep, it's the Wi-Fi. So Katie is saying the word sorcery. So Anya, if you would like a reading, please put the word sorcery into the chat so I can add you to the picker wheel. So Katie is in here. Have to remove Sophia. Okay, Wheezy isn't here. So right now it is all Katie. All right, Sophia is back. 3, 2, 1. All right. I don't know. Yeah, like this is Mercury's shadow. Like what was I shouldn't have said it. I shouldn't have said it. Like the shadow period is often worse than the retrograde itself.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right. So Anya said very blurry, but we're back. We're back. It's good. Zuri is also saying sorcery. So I'm going to put Zuri in here. And okay. So right now it's only 2 people in the running. So Anya, you have to put sorcery in the chat in order to be considered. Them's the rules. So them's the rules. I'm going to continue to shuffle as we're waiting, and I'm hearing that's happening on Sophia's end too.
It's that telltale sound.
All right, Anya has said sorcery in the chat, so you will be added in the running. So we have Anya and Katie and Zuri right now. So we have a choice of 3 that may, with the pun spelling, Sorcery. Yes, very nice. We like puns here on the Tarot by Hilary live stream. Okay, is there any other takers? Because I did see a couple of other people in here before. Because Cindy was in here before watching. Cindy, would you like to be entered into the reading? Please put the word sorcery, however you want to spell it, into the chat. We'll give it about another minute, and then we'll do it. So, all right. And I'm gonna drink some water. And what would you say? What is like your regular amount of cards when using this deck? Or are you like not limited? Are there certain spreads that are better than others when using this deck?
It depends. I like a 3 card with this. I've really been enjoying it, pairing it with tarot. So for some of my Instagram posts, I'll pull 3 tarot cards and then stick 2 Sorcery Underground cards in like the corners. I've been enjoying, but typically 3 cards, but that's my default in general is 3 cards. I'll do a 1 card draw, but it's usually a 3. So that's about where I get with just about anything.
Okay. Good to know. I mean, like, I love 3 card readings. And I mean, like, I think I put the basic 3 card reading into my first book. And you know, if you're not aware, I did write a book. It's coming out in November, if not sooner, to the UK. How to Read Tarot, Flame Tree Publishing. Now back to your regularly scheduled live stream. But I did include the 3 card spread within the spreads, like talking about different spreads, and also letting people know that it is such a malleable spread that it can be, you can read 3 cards without positions and just see how the images or the energies are interacting. You can do past, present, future. You can assign positional meanings based on questions and have the positional meaning answer the question, or the card that comes up answers that question. It's a very versatile spread. And you can also move them up and down the line too. So it can be like shaped as a triangle, or it can be like what's above, what's below, or, you know, having it be a diagonal even. But I mean, you can make a spread, but also I want to emphasize like where you place your cards does matter most of the time. Like if it's to the left, it's usually in the past. If it's to the right, it's usually to the future. So it's just like, if you're going to create spreads and you're not sure how to do it, like start with the 3 card format and then move the cards around and experiment and be like, oh, from my experience, when I put something above something else, it's usually like higher self, or below, it's usually subconscious. And that's just how I've been reading it. So it's just like, use that basic format to experiment. Oh, no, we got it, Anya. I put it in the chat several minutes ago. All my comments seem to be showing up with a long delay on your end. Or I don't display it on screen, but I'm getting them. I'm getting all of your comments, Anya. We've got you. You are in the running. Okay. We've given it enough time and enough opportunity for people to put it in. So you're in the running, Anya. So I'm going to hide you for a second, Sophia, so that I have room to do the picker reel. So say goodbye for 1 second. I can still see you and hear you, but nobody else can. So it's kind of nice to know that the staging works. Okay, so let's see. Share screen, share tab with audio and the picker wheel. Okay. And I have to push that to staging so people can see it. All right. Picker wheel is up. I am going to make myself smallish. All right, I'm going to take down the crawler because we have our entries in. So we have here inputs, Katie, Zuri, and Anya. Are we ready to spin the wheel? Give me a hell yeah in the chat if you're able to put it in the chat. And I'm going to go ahead and hide this. And let's see. All right. Okay, we can see it. We can hear it. All right, let's go. It's happening right now. This has not been rigged. This is completely random. Completely random. But the shit talking was strong in the chats. But as you could see there, that was an evenly divided pie. And Anya is the winner of tonight's mid-episode reading with both myself and Sophia reading from the Sorcery Underground fortune-telling deck. And pull yourself together, Sophia, because she is laughing. You can't hear it, but she's laughing. So let me go ahead and stop sharing and bring Sophia back on. Okay.
I'm laughing because I see her every week.
Just so happens. It just so happens.
It's now that I'm
that. Okay. So congratulations to Anya. If you would like us to answer a specific question, or question that you want an answer to, or situation that you want clarification on, if you cannot think of either of those two things, just what do I most need to know right now is an excellent question to ask. But please put your question into the chat. And I will display it here while we do your reading from the Sorcery Underground fortune-telling kit. So Katie is saying yes, and Zuri is saying congratulations to you. So I will display it as soon as I see it in the chat. Okay. That's hilarious. Any other thoughts on the Sorcery Underground fortune-telling deck while we wait for Anya's question for her reading?
It's just such a fun, quirky little deck. It, like, if you take a look at all the majors, it's a ton of like found art juxtaposed together. Like you have these two like cute little children, and then an alchemical sun depiction, and
yeah, and I like the backs. Like I'm not normally into the plaid, and I mean, like, it is kind of a nod towards that Rider-Waite-Smith, with the blue and the white plaid on the back. If you're using the more traditional Rider-Waite-Smith, if you're like me and you use the radiant Rider-Waite-Smith, you have like a star pattern on the back. But I like the nod to the plaid. So Anya is saying, heck yes. Okay, give us your question. Maybe I'm the one on a delay. I mean, possibly. I mean, sometimes with the Live, the third-party app that I'm using to live stream simultaneously to two different platforms, there can be a bit of a delay. So you might be a little scotch behind on the YouTube, but that's completely okay. I'm still getting your chat. So
yeah, she's got to be a little bit behind.
All right, there's the yay. Not a problem. Not a problem. We modify for each of these. And also like I don't know what the heck I did, like, or how much time I have saved not having to broadcast to one platform, having to download it and then re-upload it to a different platform for the replays. It was such a pain in the butt. So I'm very happy that Be Live has this simulcast feature that I can stream to the Book of Face and the Tube of You without having to do additional work. It's nice. So, I mean, I mostly direct people towards the Tube of You for the videos because it's just easier. It's more, I don't know, it's more forgiving in making playlists and curating it. So
funnily enough, about the plaid backs, one of Anya and I's coven sisters has like this hard and fast rule that she will not purchase any decks with plaid backs. So we just keep showing her images of it.
Your loss. Your loss. Eventually there is going to be a cave there.
We'll see. I don't know. It's
not about the back.
Her reasoning for it is that she needs one rule so that she won't buy every deck. So this is her one singular rule about tarot, is that no plaid.
Well, I mean, it's like, what's the line from The Dark Knight that the Joker says? And it's just like, what's your one rule? That you won't murder criminals? And it's just like, well, that's just the one rule that you'll have to break to know yourself. And I'm just like, yeah, maybe that's her Batman one rule.
Oh, here's
that
her.
She might have to break. Yes, I got it.
You got it. Okay.
What do I need to know this weekend to balance myself? Okay, I will shuffle and Sophia will shuffle. I'll pull 3 cards as well, even though like this is new to me, Anya. So you might want to listen more strongly to Sophia than to me because it's a new to me deck. And if we get the same cards, then I think that's more of an emphasis. So we'll see. All right.
Should we decide on the stopping point or?
Nah, just whenever you feel ready.
Okay.
All right. I'm pulling. Oh, reversals. Oh, reversal. Oh, upright. Okay. I'm glad I took the advice on the reversals.
Yeah, I have 1 reversal and 2 upright.
And I have 2 reversals and 1 upright. So let's see. Do you want to go first or should I go first?
Dealer's choice. What are you feeling?
I think I should go first so we can finish strong because you're more familiar with the deck. So first of all, you're getting number 71 reversed, which looks like the 5 of spades. It also has clouds on it too. So it's like, I get that sense of like, I'm going to try and intuit first, and then I'm going to go to the white book. So 5 of spades would be what? 5 of swords?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like just singing Sting Shape of My Heart in my head to be able to remember the associations. By the way, I did sneak that into my book too, as a pull quote. I'm very proud of myself for that. I'm just like, are we going to get in trouble? Oh, well, you know, fine. Sting, come after me. You know, that would be interesting. So I know that the spades are the swords of a soldier. So spades. So you're getting the 5 of swords with clouds. And it's number 71, and it is reversed. So I'm also remembering about clouds being in the Lenormands, and clouds to me is always that like kind of like outlook hazy, try again later. So there's something that is like a miscue there. Like you don't have quite all the information yet about this weekend and about having that, like there's like that one missing piece to being able to balance yourself this weekend. So it's just like, so start thinking about like what that missing piece is. Second card is Queen of Hearts reversed, number 37. So Queen of Hearts would be the Queen of Cups reversed.
Yes.
It's a very, like, I can understand why you're asking this question because you're getting like 2 hearts cards. It feels like a very emotional weekend that you're preparing yourself for. And so it's like, don't allow your emotions to overrule you, and don't allow yourself to be put in that position that you normally know you're going to get emotional in. Like, you have to exert, again, boundaries. Jesus. You have to exert those boundaries, and it has to be like a very finite, like, I may have to have this interaction, but that doesn't mean that I'm completely out of control in the situation. I may just have to limit my time with this person. So consider limiting your time with the people that you know are going to emotionally trigger you. Okay, that's number 2. Third card is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of Cups. And that is the only upright card here. And it's paired with the Stork card too. So it's just like, I feel like, how do I phrase this? There's that need for nostalgia. It could be the reason why you're doing this weekend and needing to balance yourself. Is like you're going into this almost like possibly reunion situation where people that knew you from childhood, you're reconnecting with them, and it's just like they may have knew you then, but they don't know you now. And so allow yourself to take back that power and recognize that you're a different person now, and they don't have that power over you. How'd I do? And that's without looking at the but you created a monster.
It's a fun
deck. A good deck. This is
so good.
Freaking deck. Oh my God. And let us know, Anya, in the chat, like if that resonates with you. I know you're on a little bit of a delay, but we are getting your comments. I'm gonna go back and go to the book before Sophia does your reading. So number 71, the 5 spades, clouds. So for reversed, same as upright, which is defeat, loss, embarrassment, degradation, a blow to the ego. So this is something that's very, wow. Okay. Interesting that I said something similar, I think. Same as upright, but possibly with larger, more long-term consequences. Advice: burn dried lavender and chamomile to calm the mind and heal emotional wounds. Again, that emotional. Burn bay leaves to regain confidence. So that confidence piece came up a little bit later. I love that. That's so cool. Number 37. Hold on really quickly. Anya, was the Queen of Cups paired with the Lenormand card? I missed it. It is paired with the woman. That's the pairing. So it looks like it's the woman, but I'll get to that in a second because I'm going to the book. 37, Queen of Hearts, a woman. So there you go. That is also reversed. So fickle, vain, untrustworthy, flighty, and instability. So it does feel like a very unstable situation. So that's part of the reason why it's just like, I get why the reversals are coming out here, where it's just like, I need balance. I know it's unstable. I need something here. Advice, instability, emotional manipulation. I don't think that's you being the manipulator. I think that you are being manipulated or have the possibility of being manipulated this weekend. So just like boundaries high. And advice: secrets are best kept at this time. Like, you have the tea on fucking everyone in this situation. Just hold it and know it to yourself. Don't, like, you may be in the right. Don't say it. So that's that. And then number 30. So the last card is the 6 of Hearts. Number 30. 6 of Hearts is the Stork. And that's upright. So the past, childhood, recollection, memory, acquaintance, friends or lovers from the past, and an offer. And the advice here is reach out to an old friend and offer a compliment. So I feel like that is just like that kill them with kindness kind of piece. And it's something that you may, like, I'm glad that you asked. I'm glad that you won the reading at this time, because it's just like that kill them with kindness. That might be the missing piece that I was talking about at the beginning of the reading. Like, that's the missing piece here. It's going to be hard. I'm not saying that it's not going to be hard, but above all, be kind, because you are capable of rising above. I don't think some of the people involved are capable of rising above. What the fuck just happened? Okay.
It's a crazy deck.
So Anya, if you want to give feedback, that's fine, or we'll just roll into Sophia. So Sophia, you can start, and Anya, you can put in your comments.
The cool thing is the Queen of Cups is actually Anya's significator. So it's interesting that that's in reverse.
Because it's like almost a situation where she doesn't feel like she can be herself. Right? Like, am I wrong about that? Like, just let me know.
It goes right into mine too. So I have the moon reversed. So right off the bat, something's out of whack. There's a cycle that needs to be addressing. Like, the moon in this deck is very much like a cyclical thing. What I'm seeing here specifically, though, is that in the guidebook, it mentions in the reversal meaning that help is available. You're not alone, and you're allowed to take that help. It's I don't want to air all of Anya's life, but Anya is the nicest person ever and says yes to everything and would do anything for anybody. And as a coven, we've been yelling at her that she needs to sleep and take care of herself. So this makes a lot of sense here. So
yeah, I mean, anything that you want to say to her privately, by all means, say to her privately. I mean, like, that's the drawback of these public readings. So Anya says, fascinating. Thank you, Hilary. Lots of food for thought. So, and yup, it's all about me. Okay. So,
and so that's
and Zuri said, that is one of my favorite songs. I can hear it on a continuous loop. Yeah, Shape of My Heart by Sting. If you don't know it, and you're a tarot reader or a playing card reader, you need to listen to that song. Okay. Going back to Anya's reading.
Yes. So what I'm seeing here is that there is definitely this need to address this recurring pattern of overextending with this whole cycle that's out of whack. It's help is available. You're not alone. Asking people for help with things, asking people to take things off your plate isn't a bad thing. It's a good thing. And it's sometimes very necessary. We also have the Hierophant, which this is the French, so it's the Pope. So we have tradition, advice, connection to the divine through the other. Like here, the Hierophant, I'm seeing it's sort of do what you know how to do here. It's you don't have to reinvent the wheel every day. You're allowed to go with the flow a little bit here and trust what you know. And then we have 32, which is the Eight of Cups, the Garden Path. And what's interesting about this card is that this is related to card 46. So there's two cards in this deck. 32 is going away. 46 is coming towards. And you'll find that eventually. So in this, we have this Garden Path that's going away. So it's leaving a current situation, changing your current situation, and making a conscious choice to do things in a healthier way. So to distill that into things that are not just me shouting words, so what I'm seeing here, because you know how it goes. It's like, these are the three things. Okay, now what do I do with it? So what I'm seeing here is that this cycle of overextending needs a pause, needs a break. Something needs to be taken care of. And it's trust your judgment here and start getting a little bit more discerning about what you take on and what you decide you need to delegate to other people, because you can't do everything. No one person can do all things. And it seems like rather than like the more traditional tarot Eight of Cups, which is this conscious choice to leave something, I usually call it like the boy bye card. Like I see this as more of like a conscious choice to change a behavior pattern for the better. So that's what I'm getting, is this cycle of giving, and then you're just left drained. It's just not sustainable any further. And to bounce off what you had said, like it seems like the big thing to focus on for the weekend is if another thing comes up that you have to take care of, it's okay to say no. It's okay to say, I'm way too busy doing all the cool things I'm doing right now. Love you, still care about you. I'm just swamped is an okay and acceptable response.
Yeah. I mean, like, I feel like this is supposed to be a fun weekend. This is supposed to be a joyful weekend. And it's almost like it's hard to allow yourself to have that fun because it's almost like you feel like you're gonna slip, like, you know, and it's just like, yeah, like, and I know you want to, have fun, but at the same time, like, you can have fun within the structure of like, oh, I'm so sorry, yeah, that sounds like fun, but I actually have to do this, or I have to do this first. And it's just like, this is not me saying no, this is me saying I have a previous obligation to blank, even if the obligation is I'm gonna take a nap. You know, like, they don't need to know. Like, and Anya, actually, like, I think the boundaries episodes that we've done in the past, the replays, like, would be very beneficial. And I know you're tuning in on the tube of you. Like, feel free to look through and like search my channel page, and and just type in boundary or boundaries, and you'll be able to find those episodes, because I mean, like, we need them. We need the healthy boundaries. And it's not about saying no to people or being a bitch or being awful. It's about saying, I want you to know me. I want you to know me, and this is what's okay with me, and this is what's not okay with me. Yeah. So Zuri is saying, honor your emotional bandwidth, and easier said than done. I know. Yeah. Like, we've all got a bunch of readers in here too. So it's just like, oh, you want a reading? Everyone jump on it. You'll be read to filth. I also looked at the deep card, the bottom card of the deck, and I got the lovers. I got the Lemur. So that, like, even strengthens like what you were saying about choices, and like, you know, allowing the help and saying like yes, no. It says, and this is upright, lovers, Gemini, a choice between the sacred and the profane, a decision, options being weighed, forward or backward, give in or get going, quicksilver or quicksand. So that, I think, really solidifies a lot of what we both said here. So like, is it going to be quicksilver for you, or is it going to be quicksand? And I think that's how you start to measure your, what was it you said, situationships going forward. Is this going to weigh me down, or is this going to speed me up and bring me joy? All right. So Anya says, Ga, Sophia, the same messages keep coming. I have to listen. It's time. Hilary, yes, I want to make space for joy this weekend. I'll take a look at the past episodes and looking forward to your book. Thank you very much, Anya. And she said also, I've been working on keeping healthy boundaries lately. I took furious notes from both of your readings. Thank you. And also, you have access to this replay too. So like, you don't have to, like, that's a great part about this too. You don't have to take notes if you don't want to, and you always can come back to this episode once we're done with the streaming and access it anytime you want to. And I'm sure a lot of people, like, I know that this is a specific situation that we read on, but a lot of the messages could be very helpful for other people too. So thank you for allowing us to read for you, to filth, it seems. Because this is not joking around. Like, you warned me. This is a great
tough deck. It's tough.
Now, who in the tarot coven has been refusing because of the plaid back? Like,
it's please. Not Anya. It's not Anya.
No, I know it's not. But it's just like, whoever it is, like, watch this episode. Like, listen, like, there's a reason why everyone's raving over this deck. And that was just 3 cards from me, 3 cards from you. Actually, 3 and 3, and then, well, 6, and then the 7th here. That's interesting too, because, you know, the 6th card of the major arcana is the Lover's card. So a little bit of tarot math going on here. And by the way, I realized that we didn't hold up any of these cards. We were just like, oh. Like, oops. So just to let you know, this is the 5 of spades, or 5 of swords, with the clouds reversed, number 71. This is the Queen of Hearts, or the Queen of Cups, number 37. It is the Woman card, correspondence to Lenormand. And then this is 6 of Hearts, otherwise known as Six of Cups, and the Stork card correspondence to the Lenormand, number 30. And then here's the Lovers. Okay. So if you want to hold up the cards that you got, if you didn't already shuffle them back in.
I'm digging.
Okay.
Oh, no, they're right here.
Yeah, Zuri said such a pretty card, I'm guessing for the Lovers. Yeah. Really liking the imagery of the cards from Katie. Oh, that's a beautiful La Luna.
Right?
Wow.
So nice. And then, yeah, big old crayfish in the middle. And
beautiful.
Then this one's a little wacky. This is the Hierophant.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, I'm learning to make peace with the Hierophant card. I like that. Legacy of the Divine by Ciro Marchetti really changed my mind on the Hierophant because they renamed it Faith. So,
and then coincidentally, both of these came up. So this is the one I had, which is the Leaving, the Eight of Hearts. Mm-hmm. And then here is the Eight of Swords.
Oh, wow.
Two very similar concepts, but different interpretations.
Leaving. So one is, what are you walking away from and what are you going towards?
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
And then you haven't gotten to the funky cards, and well, they're all funky, but the especially funky are the extra two majors, which is the two abracadabra cards that are as above and as below.
I'm sure I'll run into them in my readings because I like it to just come up organically. Ooh.
And then the devil in this
is really pretty.
The devil in this is fabulous. It's that statue of Lucifer that was too hot to trot, so they made the one you know that story. They made one statue of Lucifer that was just too attractive. So this is the statue that the second one they made that was even more attractive. So here's our sexy devil.
And also, if you are listening to the Card Slingers Coast to Coast podcast, we did do an episode on the devil card, which is basically named "Why is the devil card always hot?" And that's a great example of another hot devil card. I personally like. I think it is Legacy of the. Of course, I was talking about Legacy of the Divine, and yeah, that's a hot devil too, where he's got the hourglass in a certain place on his anatomy, and it's quite large. So interesting. So Katie is asking, do you think knowing Lenormand series is helpful to reading this card series?
I don't think it could hurt. I know Lenormand very. We're acquaintances. I wouldn't say that we're life partners. So it helps a little bit, like knowing what the scythe is, knowing the shit, like that kind of helps a little bit. But I don't think you need it.
Especially with the book. Mm-hmm. Like the book may help. Oh, I like it. So is that like the abracadabra? Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Bringing in and releasing.
Cool. So Anya says, thank you so much again. I have to run, but we'll watch the recording later. Absolutely, Anya. Thank you so much for tuning in. It was an honor and a privilege to read for you. That was pretty damn cool. And also, like, I get it. Like, I have no buyer's remorse here with this deck. And I'm so glad that I waited to do the unboxing live on the broadcast because, like, it's just more fun that way. And also, like, instead of just screaming to myself in my little apartment here all alone, I can scream on camera and people feel my joy.
I love this poorly drawn medieval crocodile.
Aww.
His face is just so funky.
I like the demon, whatever drawing or painting it is, where it's like the little girl and she's like holding a demon like a cat. Like, that's like one of my favorite things ever, where it's just like where your cat's an asshole but you love him anyway, and it's like the little chap with the teeth. All right. Any other questions about the Sorcery Underground fortune telling deck, and any particular cards that you guys want to take a look at? We'll try and rescue them or pull them. Ooh, is that the world?
That's the world.
That's the world.
I'm just finding my favorites now.
Ooh, Judgment is really cool too.
Judgment
so that's
is
a Judgment
really cool.
card. That was coming up reverse for me. I'm going to try and keep my reversals intact. Oh, there's the mice. Love that the mice is paired. Like,
oh, the Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel. Beautiful. Because I mean, like, that is such a testament to well-researched. Because, like, how do you, like, I mean, you can pair it, like, because there is, like, in Lenormand, there is an association with playing cards. There is. Because, and in certain Lenormand decks, you'll have, like, the mice. And then you'll have a little playing card association in the corner. But it is difficult to be able to do that for playing cards, and then for tarot, and then for Lenormand, to have to meld three different divination systems that can be quite different together. Like, that's that. Like, my hats are off to Brian for doing that, because that's not easy.
No, it's it's just so fun. It's just good.
Any other experiences that come to mind of you reading with this deck and having a reaction, either good or bad or indifferent?
Oh yeah, I do my daily readings with this deck all the time, and my friend Anya just left, but she would know I am just a ball of stress in human form. So I really like it to just kind of get me back down, grounded to earth, like just bring it down to a comfortable level. So like there's some, like on Tuesday I had a no, not so good, terrible, very bad day, like the book, the children's book. Yep. And I was like, oh, is today going to be good? And I just did a reading in the morning. It was just blatantly no. And it was just, it was
do you remember? Nope. Do you remember any specifics, or it was just like no, girl, no, like stay in bed if you can?
What was it? It was like it was like 73, the snake, the bird cage, the.
Speaking of like no, here's the tower.
Oh yeah, it was like the bird cage, and then the 7 of. It was the 72, the snake card, and the. I can't remember what the other one was, but it was just like blatantly like you're in for it, kiddo.
And then it turned out to be very, very true. But at least you were prepared. Like, that's what I say about like bad readings. And you do want to like exercise caution when you're reading for other people. But sometimes your divination systems won't extend you that same courtesy when you're reading for yourself. And they're just like, oh no, you need to get slapped around in this reading right now. And I'm just like, fuck, like, hey, that's not cool. Like, don't come after me. I mean, I think that's part of the reason why people enjoy when the weekend forecast comes for me and you can see it visibly on camera, where I'm just like, fuck, no. Zuri says this has such a Romanesque vibe to it. Yes. Yeah, it does. Love it. Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Sophia, for coming on and, reading your friend to filth. And I'm sure there'll be more off camera that may be said. Hopefully you took notes so that you can say the private things to her too. But I totally get it as well, because like Dylan Dilly, that is my actual real life best friend that dropped in before. And she's a reader and a medium and a licensed massage therapist. So it's just like, and the high priestess of our coven too. So, she does it all, but also likes a deck that will smack her around if she needs it. So I think she is going to be delighted when watching the replay of this episode, knowing that she has it in her hot little hands. We're gonna get pruny with this deck. So thank you for voluntelling me to buy it, and thank you for listening to me voluntelling you to come on and talk about it.
I'm happy to. It's such a great deck, and I feel like it's just so underrepresented on all of the tarot pages. And so he prints the deck. It's not out of print, but he prints it in small print runs because it's such a wacky deck that there's an audience for it. And I think it's just people just don't know that it's around and that it exists. So
Yeah.
go on his social media and tell him that he's fantastic and cool, because he is. And it's a fantastic deck.
So it's Sorcery Underground. And there are still 8 available, apparently. It says, yeah, selling fast, only 8 left, and over 20 people have it in their carts. So I'm assuming that 9th person was Dylan Dilly. I'm guessing. That's kind of fun. But I will share the Etsy link right in here, right now. And oh, nope, that's too many things. Hold on. Let me see if I can just take out the rest of it. Hopefully this will be enough. So Zuri says, thank you both for sharing your gifts and time tonight. You're very welcome, Zuri, and thank you for tuning in. And let us know when your next live sale is, because we all need crystals and sprays and stuff and Palo Santo sticks. So I'm going to go ahead and display that right now. Etsy.com listing, and it's the Sorcery Underground Fortune Telling deck by Brian David MacDonald, and I believe he's just Sorcery Underground on Instagram.
Yes,
if I'm remembering correctly. I'm going to just double check that to make sure I am not getting egg on my face when I say that. Oh, look, puppies. I follow more dogs and cats than I do actual human people at this point on social media. Yeah, so how did that work? Hold on. Yeah, Sorcery Underground. There he is. Yes, Brian David MacDonald, magical realist, disco punk, card reader, and stargazer. And he also has a website, sorceryunderground.com. Yes, I'm gonna send this link to him. After we're done with the replay, I will let him know, like, hey, you might want to extend your print runs a little bit larger, because I think there might be people that want your deck.
yeah.
Hold on. Let me see. Yeah. Yeah, I'll put his gram of Insta in here too. So, it doesn't have to be just me harassing him. So if he happens to be out of stock on Etsy, just, message him and say, this tarot reader just read someone to filth, or 2 tarot readers just read someone to filth using your deck, and I need it and I want it. So let him know that his deck is awesome, because everyone likes to be praised and everyone likes to be needed. So I will say good tidings to you, Sophia, so that we can move into the weekend forecast. I'm wondering if we should do the weekend forecast from this too. I think that it might be too much in a way. Even one card might be too much in a way. Why don't we do it together? Why don't we do the weekend forecast together? You pull one card, I'll pull one card. Okay. So hopefully everybody likes that. Pleases and sparkles with everybody. Okay. So let's shuffle it up, and asking the question, what do we need to know about this weekend? I'm going to pull a card. Sophia is going to pull a card from the Sorcery Underground deck. All right. One more shuffle.
All right.
Ready. Ooh, Major Arcana. Reversed.
I have a minor upright.
Okay. You go first this time.
I have the Knight of Clubs. So this is a departure, a change of mind, heart, location, travel, could be a charming person, charming charisma. So it seems like with this weekend, especially what we heard earlier about the AstroBiz Digest and how all of the astrology tomorrow is going to be funky. So I think right now if for D&D folks, this is the time to roll your charisma check and really dial the charisma up to 100 to really get through all of our Mercury retrograde shadowy nonsense.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. I knew the reference immediately. Speaking of the Hierophant, I got the Hierophant reversed.
Interesting.
So that's un pape in this deck, and un pape. I can't help it. I have to say un pape. So that's number 5. So I'll hold him up while we're talking about the reversal. So reversed is nonconformity, individuality, new paths, new procedures, substitution of components or ingredients. Ignore unsolicited advice. That's a big one with the reversed Hierophant. Direct connection to the divine, direct connection to the truth. And the method is pray with your eyes open. Interesting combination there. Because when I see the reversed Hierophant, I always think about why do you believe what you believe? Question your beliefs, because don't do anything by rote this weekend. Question why you do what you do. I like that. Pray with your eyes open. Or maybe go out for a walk in nature. Go for a walking meditation. That way you have to keep your eyes open. And roll for charisma. Zuri says, thanks, Sophia. I love that spin on that card. Awesome. Great. So that's your weekend forecast. We have unboxed the Sorcery Underground. And you know what? I think I've already made a decision on which bag it's got to be. It's got to be your magic. It has to be this. Perfect. Thank you. I don't need any help. I don't need anybody's opinions. I am putting this in this bag. All right. Well, adieu, Sophia. Thank you so much for being on the broadcast. Again, if you want a reading from Sophia, her website is benevolentcorvus.com. You can find her to book your reading. Please do. If you're not getting a reading from me, get a reading from her. Okay? Just do it. If you don't know that she's a good reader, you know it now, because that was amazing. And you can specially request the weird and wacky deck for your reading.
Or so that one.
Yeah, or that one. And she'll know what you're talking about. So let me hide this. Katie says, thank you, Sophia. Good to see you again. I'm sure I speak for Sophia and myself where she says, good to be seen. And I will let you go. So bye. Okay. Yeah, that was pretty freaking awesome. So again, everyone, thank you for joining me on another episode of Tarot by Hilary Live. The sun has gone down. It is currently 8:21 at night. And I know I say I keep these live streams tight. If we're having fun, though, I'm not going to cut us off when we're in the middle of having fun. And I think that was a really good example of why doing an unboxing is so important. You don't want to spend your hard-earned money on a deck that you might not connect with, or you might not resonate with. So it's just it is a great way of trying before you buy, is looking at some of these unboxing videos and seeing how people interact with the deck. Because sometimes, I think Sophia had mentioned this earlier today, or the last time I spoke with her, where it's just sometimes it's just not about cardstock. It's about how you interact with the deck, how, not necessarily how it feels in your hand, but how it feels energetically and what the conversation is. Because sometimes some decks you're not going to resonate with. That's just not the deck for you. Deviant Moon, I know people are, wild and rabid fans of the Deviant Moon tarot deck. I tried. I tried really hard. But that had a very visceral reaction in me. And I'm just like, I don't think I like this deck. And I don't think I can read with this deck because it freaks me out. And I know that sounds weird coming from a tarot reader and a witch who has talked to dead people before through the cards. But still, like, there was just something about that deck. It's not for me. And I'm sure it's a wonderful deck. I know it's a wonderful deck for other people. It's just not for me. And I was able to release that in a tarot deck swap at Reader Studio, and it didn't even hit the surface. Someone saw it in my hand, and I was about to put it down, and they snatched it out of my hand. They're just like, "You're putting that on the swap table?" No, that's mine. And I'm just like, "Oh, okay, here we go." Like, you're not going to resonate with every single tarot deck. You're just not. But this one, so freaking happy about this deck. So thank you for joining me in this unboxing. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you showing up for the live streams. Can't do it without you. And I'm really enjoying the mid-episode reading feature. I'm having fun with it. So Sophia says, I finally drank the deviant Kool-Aid, but it's certainly something. See, Sophia likes that deck. I don't like that deck. Clearly, we're both agreed on the Sorcery Underground deck. But, again, to each their own. And he has some very lovely other decks, too. Patrick Valenza, who is the creator of the Deviant Moon tarot deck. But sometimes you're not going to find out you like or dislike a deck without an unboxing video, or sometimes you might actually purchase a deck that is not for you. But don't lose heart, and I'm sure it will find its way to the right person. And I'm sure you will find your just right tarot deck if you're looking for it too. Now remember, this is not a tarot deck. It is a combination of tarot and Lenormand and playing cards. So I'm just going to call it the Sorcery Underground deck and leave it at that so I don't confuse people. But yeah, so delighted. And we will be using this deck all month long for the month of September for Card of the Day pulls. So never fear. You don't have to worry that this is the last look at this deck. If you're still on the fence about it, I'm going to be pulling Card of the Day from this deck all month long. This is the deck of the month. Okay. Now that I've said that, a little bit of housekeeping. I did release a new episode of the Tarot by Hilary podcast called Haters Gonna Hate. It is based on my recent newsletter, September newsletter, and I also put it up on my blog, on my website, tarotbyhilary.com. So if you want to read it, you can read it. If you want to listen to it, you can listen to it. And it was something that made me want to vomit when I pressed published. So I know that it was meaningful and that I needed to put it out there. That's also one of my indications that I'm doing something worthwhile, is just like, does it make me physically nauseous to press the button on this? Okay. That means I need to do it. That means it's even more important that I do it. So a reminder that we do these episodes every Friday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you like these episodes, please share. If you would like to contribute to the tip jar for these episodes, hold on, where is it? I do have the virtual tip jar at paypal.me/tarot by Hilary NY. I will put that into the chat. Or if you want to be able to support more episodes of this, like buy a reading from me. tarotbyhilary.com. I have email options. I have Skype, Zoom, phone, and also in-person readings in the Westchester, New York area. I'll also go to some parts of Connecticut and some parts of New Jersey too. So as long as it's like within a 30-minute radius. And if you live in NYC and you're thinking about doing parties or events, consider booking a tarot reader. I mean, we're getting into spooky season, folks. I get busy around this time of year. Real busy. Like, I'm already booked for my first Halloween party, if you can imagine it. So we book up very quickly during the season. Tarot readers, psychics, oracle readers, angel card readers, we book up very quickly. So if you don't want to be disappointed and you do want a reader at your Halloween party, you may want to start reaching out to people now, even if it's not me. I know that people would greatly appreciate it if you start asking now. Make your plans now so you're not disappointed later. Sophia says, it's upon us. Time to get spooky. Exactly. So I'm going to hide the crawler, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another episode next Friday. I don't know what we're doing for that episode. Yeah, Katie says, wow, Halloween booked already? Wow. Yep. It's actually Mr. Tarot by Hilary's cousin. I am their regular reader for their Halloween party. They're really crazy about Halloween. They go all out. It's amazing. And sometimes their Halloween costumes like genuinely scare me. And I'm just like, I can't look at you in that costume. Like, I'll give you your reading, but like, I have to look at the cards. Like, I have to look at the cards and not look at the fact that like Pennywise is sitting in front of me right now. And it's just like really not okay that you're a scary clown right now. Can you like, I know it took a lot for you to do this makeup and I get it. Like, I'm a face painter too. Like, I understand, but like, I can't look at you right now. But yes, they book me every year, and it's going to be my triumphant return, because it's been a few years since they've been able to do their Halloween party. So, and yeah, they usually contact me in mid-August. So they contacted me and I said, yes, let's do it. So I do have a few slots still available for October, for weekends in October, if you are looking for a party reader. So let me know. Go to tarotbyhilary.com. All right. Yes, that's it. Katie says, thank you. Have a good weekend, everybody. You as well. Thank you to Sophia. Thank you to Katie. Thank you to Zuri. Thank you to Anya for winning the reading and allowing us to read for her. Thank you to, I think Kathy was here at the top of the episode as well. A couple other people. If I haven't, Cindy was here too. Dylan Dilly was also here. So thank you to everyone that tuned in, even if you tuned in for a brief and shining moment. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you. And remember that replays of every episode are available right now on my Tube of You channel or my Book of Face. So yeah, and you can search them too. So if you're thinking of an episode or you want, I don't know, insight on a topic, like the 5s and 7s of the tarot come to mind. We did an episode on that. We've done a lot of episodes in the past 3 years. So search it. You'll be able to find it, whether it's 3 a.m. or 3 p.m. in your time. So see you next week, Friday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, I am Hilary, professional tarot reader and EFT practitioner, demystifying the mystical and putting you in touch with the most beautiful of gifts, your own intuition. Because yes, my friends, don't argue with me. You have intuition. Good night.